Hi everybody, this is Christian Connoisseur. So for this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This was some background footage when I was making a potion. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the early game stuff and how to make your experience a little bit better. So I was just going to show some potion. I'll give you a few early game tips. I was starting to kind of play this game a little bit. I have some other footage, but I made this one specifically. Okay. So I might just go through and watch it once. I'm just going to talk about it. I think this is one that I made that was pretty clean. But this game, to be honest, it's challenging, but it's fair. It's not like Dark Souls where it's just brutally hard. This game is definitely fair, but it's a lot of investment. You reap what you sow. So one really strong early game tip to this is honestly. So this is also presuming once you beat and get through the early the pre Act 1, going into Act 1 where you have to not too many spoilers, right? But like you and Han both get together and you go through all this stuff, right? And then you kind of part ways, and then you're kind of free to play the game for a long time. So once you get to that point, making potions is probably one of the best early game pathways you can do. So this is I'm just making it. It's called pronounce the name. The potion. It's called a chameleon potion. Here, let me just. It'll show on here. This is when I was playing on my PlayStation 5. Let's see here. What's the name called? If I can pronounce this. A strong chamomile decoction. So, like this one, for example, I'll just give you a couple basic tips. So when you start this out, you can gather ingredients. So like you need the 1 sage and then you need the 2 chamomile. So I'm not sure I'm saying the name right. Or chamomile, I don't know the name of that. You can make a decoction, so you get them fresh herbs. And if you do some alchemy for a while, right, and you start making some potions, you can get the ranks that'll give you extra potions. Like now I'm able to make 6 because I think I'm level 2. The 3rd level, I don't know what that does. I presume it'll probably be plus 2 more. I'm able to make 8 potions per doing one of this, right? If you make them strong, you can sell them for a lot of money. This is a pretty easy starting one out. You can also make the Savior Shops. And then there's also like a Marigold potion. A few other ones. So, you can see even here, this one's I think they sell for 35. If you haggle, I mean, you can probably get like 15. You could get like 15 money from it. So, I have my other footage. I don't know if I have it uploaded. Here, I'll go through and I'll just kind of show some stuff. So again, like you take the wine and you put the wine in the little cauldron. You gotta follow the recipe. Then you take 2 scoops of that chamomile. You put them in the pot. The game will give you you can make 1 mistake or something like that. All right, then you gotta boil it. Now, you can follow the timer, or you can figure out how long the actual timer is. It's about 6-7 seconds, I've calculated. So I mean, I didn't even use the timer, right? Now, sometimes you can make a mistake there. But I mean, you should use the timer, but once you kind of figure it out, it's about 6 seconds. Put it off, put it back up. Take a sage, put it in a little pot, and you grind it. And then you put that inside the big pot. Then you take one of these little potions, and you do not distill it, but you just take the potion, it's called a phial, and then you put it up into the cauldron, and you just make the potion. So I mean, you can make, honestly, once you get to around I think level 12, or is it 14? I think I'm 14. You can make 6 of these. So you can go to the store, there's alchemy stores, a regular merchant in town, and then you could sell a bunch of these, right? So you can go out into different gardens, pick a bunch of the sage, and like the camel eye, and you can make a whole bunch of these potions. So also it's better if you have the fresh ones. Now this is an easy one, right? And there's also the Savior Shop. I'm probably not saying the names right, but that's also not that hard. Now finding the belladonnas are a little bit difficult. I have a couple other early game tips. Okay, so I don't really want to like blatantly just cheat, find everything instantly for free, guaranteed. This is a really nice map though. So I'll give you a couple other basic tips to start the game out. I just wanted to make a video about it, right? Because this game's kind of hard, but it's also very satisfying. So, stupid ads, right? So, early game, an easy way to get a bunch of Savior Shops is you can make them yourself. But what you need is the belladonna. So I got a little bit of cough still. I'm feeling a lot better. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying, right? I'm feeling a little bit better though. But there's like a little town here. I know that somewhere over here there's like a river, and there's a small camp over here. I know I have it on my game video. There's the Nomads camp, and there's like I cannot pronounce his names. Zavel show. I can't pronounce his name. It's like somewhere over here in this little area. There's a little camp. So, and then there's like a little satchel that has it has 20 of these belladonna in it. So it requires 2 belladonna and 1 nettle. Nettles are pretty easy to find. The belladonna are a little bit more challenging. You can still find them, but they're challenging. But you just find 20 of them in a little satchel along this little small river area. So if you find that, that's an easy way to get some Savior Shops. You're gonna have to, it takes a little bit of effort, right? You gotta like shimmy a little bit. But you get a Savior Shops recipe, you get to belladonna. You can find the nettles. Nettles aren't too hard to get. You can find some also in the little town. So there's a couple towns. This map had a billion markers on it. Let's see here. I think it's one of the first starting towns. I don't have my video uploaded, but I have some stuff about it. I think it might be this one, or it's another. It's one of the first starting towns, and there's a nice little alchemy bench you get access to, and there's a nice little like outdoor area that has a bunch of places where you can pick herbs. There's tons of herbs out there, and a great place to just start be able to make potions. You can sell stuff. It might be this town here. It's one of these towns. It might be this place. Yeah, I think it might be this place. But you start out, it's like the backyard of one of these places here. And then also, again, like you'll be able to get money. You can make your life a lot easier and better. Oh yeah, I guess I almost forgot to mention. So back when I was talking about, there's that river area. There's also this one. So I figured out how to do it, and I'm still kind of early on in the game. Now I did like beat Kingdom Come Deliverance 3 times. So like I do know the game pretty good. This game's pretty similar. It's a little more advanced. But there is a small bandit camp there, somewhere within that same area. And what you can do, I found the trick is this. So he's a bit challenging to defeat, but if you wait till nighttime and you sneak in, you can just like unarmed, you can just knock him unconscious. Then you can just take him out with one swing. And you take out this bandit. There's also like a dog that's kind of lurking around. You can just kind of walk up to. You can try to attack it, sneak attack it maybe, or try to get it. It's not too hard to kill. But this bandit, and along with a bunch of loot in this camp, is a ton of valuable stuff. So he has there's like some kind of like a knight sword, like a knight long sword, A little too advanced to use early on, but really, really good sword that once you get enough strength and agility, you can use it. There's just a whole bunch of items around that have high value. And I think there's also like, I think there's a couple recipes. There's a whole bunch of valuable stuff. Like you could easily get like 400 or 500 money from this. Also, he also has a bunch of pieces of equipment that are also really useful. A couple higher, like not like medium level, like more difficult to find armor pieces, along with just some basic armor and weapons too. So if you go into this little this bandit camp that has one dude, you can get a bunch of really useful stuff. Also some food and drink, maybe a couple potions. Again, there's a handful of like valuable items that you can sell. So a great early game place to get some, to advance your capabilities forward. So these are just some basic tips. And then like another thing is there's the Nomad's Camp here. Once you get to Nomad's Camp, it's a little bit tricky to get there. There's several pathways. One is you can kind of like, I think you just walk this big walkway, probably over here. Now, I didn't really do that, right, because I'm kind of like stubborn. This is probably the best way. You walk that big walkway. Now I'm looking at the map. You walk kind of all the way over here then you can get into the Nomad's Camp. Now, I think I went the hard way, right? I went like this way over here. I could not figure it out easily. Also, still kind of new to the game. Now, you can get through there. You have to walk by the water along these trees, and there's going to be a pack of dogs there, which are kind of challenging. I snuck through, and I got through the dogs. I think originally I was trying to get there. I walked through. I fell down one area. I tried to get my way in. It didn't work out very good. But apparently when I fast travel, you can just easily go around the edge. So that's the wise way to get in, right? Go the long way around the edge. There's a road. But there's a trainer, there's a combat trainer there. So you can train in combat. Combat's kind of difficult to level up early on. Also, when you're picking ingredients, you can pick up the skill that lets you get strength when you pick up pick the little flowers, right? So you can get several good strength points early on too, along with getting lots of ingredients, and you can make potions to sell. So you can sell these potions for quite a bit. Like you get like 6 of them or something. You can get 4, you can get 6 when you're making them. You sell them. You can make like 400 or 500 money selling like 20, 30 of these potions. So you can make a lot of money. Then the merchants aren't going to have tons of money necessarily either, but when you sell the potions, you can make a bunch of cash. Also, you can keep some of the potions for yourself to use too. You can keep like 2 or 4 of the strong ones. Eventually, depending on how much you actually need, right? But you sell a bunch of them. Go to different merchants around the town. There's the herbalist merchant. There's like a regular generic trader. There's a few other people out there. Maybe the inn. You can make a bunch of money. And you can also find equipment and loot. Eventually, you can kind of level up. And I feel like you can become stronger in this game. This game's it's pretty hard early game. It's a fair game, but it's challenging. So those are some easy tips. And also I would recommend there's a quest to find mutt. Eventually, you'll get mutt. It's kind of a more of like, you got to do a lot of walking. Eventually, you will have to do some basic fights. It's pretty tedious, but you get your dog back, and the dog can help you fight in combat. And then you can also get a horse. And this map is a little bit... This isn't the best map, right? I mean, I took a bunch of the stuff off of it, because there's so much stuff on this map. I don't want to blatantly cheat. But I think it's like when you get to when you do the first main quest, you can find there's a horse trader, and then they have your horse there. You can convince them with a persuasion check, or I think you can buy it. It's not too expensive. You get your horse pebbles back. Makes the game easier. You can fast travel. You can also just travel on it, and you can store stuff on your horse. It makes combat a little bit easier. Sometimes you can get away. I can't remember exactly. It might be over here. I don't remember exactly where that is, but it's during the main quest. Oh, also during the beginning of the game, when you want to get your invitation to get into the wedding, you can join with either the blacksmith or the millers. Both of which, when you can start them both actually. If you're trying to be like a good person, you want to go with the blacksmith, but he gives you a free place to stay, and you can also work on blacksmithing. So, also there's a whole bunch of free crap you're allowed to take then too. You have to learn how to do a basic sword. You get a free place to slay. And then you're gonna have to wait like a couple days when you're first starting the game out. I think it's Trosovitz. There's a couple different places. I can't remember which ones are all which. I think it's this place right here. You wait a couple days with the innkeeper. It cools down. You can pay for a place you want to stay at night. It's like 50 money. And there's also, I think it's in this other place called, I can't pronounce its name. You can also pay for an inn to stay there indefinitely. I think it's like 150 or 200 money, which is a lot early game. But, and then also you can go back and find the herbalist. Let's see, where is this at? The Nomad's Camp. And there's that original place to stay. It's like somewhere over here in the middle. You find that old lady again, right? And you can stay there and sleep there. And if you do stuff for other people, like you complete this Nomad's Camp's quest, they'll let you stay there. And once you unlock an inn, you also get access to their food there. So you get food and you can sleep. So making your game easy. A little bit tedious. And like probably just honestly when you start the game out, come all the way back to the, this little area over here where you find that I can't pronounce their names. They're like Antonia, I think her name was. So, or Tovius, the herbalist lady. And then you can stay there and you can sleep. And also you could just go out and hunt some rabbits. The game, I don't know, poaching is like a little bit morally gray. Now, I don't know about like the hunting, right? But you're not really supposed to like, be killing animals and selling them because it's like the king's stuff. But I mean, if you wanted to, you could just go out and like hunt a couple rabbits and get a bunch of food. And you can cook them. Maybe don't sell them or something and just eat them. It can help you on early on a little bit. So some of the rabbits over there by that lady herbalist, they're not really too hard to get to. You just like, I think you have like a hunting saber, and like you just kind of run up at it and just kind of swing at one. And they're bound to get stuck when they're running. You can probably kill one. Honestly, I think I killed 2 of them. I was kind of hungry for food. I couldn't find a food pot. So I had like 20 of these like rabbit food. I cooked them and I was able to eat some of them. Again, I feel like hunting is a little bit gray, but I mean, I don't know. That's a whole nother matter. I don't know if I'm not recommending you poach in the game necessarily, but you could just hunt a couple pieces of like rabbit or something and get some food, and then you can keep it. Do it every once in a while, maybe if you need some extra food. So here's just a handful of some early game tips. Wish I got this recording still. So there's a few things you can do, and then there's also some basic leveling. Again, if you're doing a lot of running, you can get your vitality up. There's some of that tricks to get some of your strength up, and you're like picking some herbs early on. You can find some encounters. I would probably look to, if you fight a combat encounter, you can do some shimmying, right? Like you probably want to look for an enemy that's a little bit weaker and go at them. And there's going to be like a more like medium level armor on a dude. I recommend you don't really fight them too much. They're pretty strong and they're hard to beat early game. Usually they have a shield, they have good armor. Now if you could kill them right and take their armor from them, that'd be good. But they're hard to beat. So like the low level light armor equipped dudes are fairly easy to defeat. You gotta kind of know how to fight in combat. But once you can take out like a couple of those, maybe then you run from like the heavy armor guy. There's a lot of different techniques. Like maybe there's one that doesn't have that. You could always run away, or if you're able to, like, depending on the situation, you could come back, circle around, and you could grab some of the loot from the people you defeat. Take out some like low level bandits periodically. Also a great way to earn some extra experience. because like what you kind of want to do in the game is you want to slowly get some of your your agility and your strength up from combat, which is why you're going to want to train with this teacher in the Nomads camp. It's like Tom something, and it's the game is just like really hard early game. So eventually, like, you're probably going to want to get a bow and get some arrows. You can and also that can help you to train maybe get some of your agility up. There's like some of these on the map. I don't know if I know exactly where they are. I've seen them a few times. There's a bunch of different like archery training spots, so you can train your archery up. They can also, like, archery can help you early game, because it gives you some agility. Agility gives you stamina. It's hard to fight in the game without like agility early on, because all your attacks require stamina and even blocking, and you gotta move around. And like stealth is pretty useful early on too. And eventually you're gonna want to get some heavier armor or heavier weapons. Again, if you're making the potions and selling the potions, you're gonna make a lot of money too. And also when you're doing quests, the quests will give you money and they'll give you some experience and stuff. You probably want to exhaust all your dialogue options so that way you get the knowledge experience. And also you can read books and stuff. So these are some early game tips. And like if you fight some bandits or something, you loot their armor and weapons. You can sell them in shops and make some good money, like especially early game. And then most bandit camps also do have a key. If you take the key, you can find a chest or several chests. Sometimes they're in like a cave or a door or a house. Lots of good loot and money, right? So there's some good ways to get some tips early on. And then, when you make a bunch of money from the alchemy places, you can go to like different merchants. Maybe it's like, it sounds tedious. It's like you make like maybe 400 money of like making like making 10 potions, right? A tedious amount of work, but spend 400 money, you could buy like 1 or 2 strong pieces of equipment that you need. Dramatically make your early game better and stronger. And like you also sharpen the weapon and like you repair it yourself, so you don't have to like pay for it. You probably do want to do some repairs for like your equipment, especially if they're nicer. You'll take less damage and they won't get broken down. But yeah, here's some early game tips for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This isn't an exhaustive list of everything, but yeah, go to the different innkeepers. Get your places to stay. Quests will give you items and money, and people will slowly like you and respect you. Also, eventually you can go to like the bathhouse. You're gonna want to like basically take like a shower and it cleans all your equipment and cleans you off, because like people won't like, and you want to build your reputation up too, so people like and respect you in the world. Because like early game, they're talking about how you stink and stuff, and like you're like a scoundrel, you look like a vagrant. So you want to get some like maybe some knight pieces of equipment, armor. You want to just make yourself more likable and be decent, right? Like pay off some of the debts you owe, and all that kind of stuff. And people, I think, will slowly but steadily, when you do quests for people, you keep your word, you're an honorable person. Maybe you spare an enemy when you're fighting them every once in a while, or whatever it might be. People will accept you as being honorable, and then your reputation will go up, and you'll go from being some like disgusting, vile beggar into like a decent, proper knight. Maybe even like a little bit of like a Christian perspective, right? Like your reputation goes up, and people will respect you as like a God-fearing person. So yeah. So thanks for watching this little video. Let me know in the comments if you watch this, if any of those things are things that you did, or how did you endure and survive like early stages of the game, maybe even the first 5-10 hours of the game you're playing. How did you survive? What were some tips and tricks that you used in order to get your skills up and get the perks and stuff? What did you do? Because for me, I wanted to be an honorable person, not be dishonorable. But it's hard to be a good person in a game like this, early game. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. I know I got some more video footage. I gotta edit it on my PlayStation 5, and I gotta upload it This one doesn't have a ton of footage to it. But thanks for watching. All right, Godspeed.